Hello, everybody. Welcome. So I get asked a lot, how do I truly know if or when I know somebody, if that makes sense. Whether it's your mom or your aunt or your lover or anybody. It's like how do you really know? Is it a certain amount of years, like 10 years, then you know them, or can you get to know them in 6 months? We first got to look at what psychology says. Psychology says that basically, in a nutshell, that every experience we have in life, we're the bigger ones anyway, like even from childhood, growing all the way up, and we hold them all this time. We suppress down that experience, almost like we're holding in the energy. In other words. And all of this suppressed energy is basically controlling everything we do in life. I mean, it determines whether you like the color pink or blue, or if you like tennis or golf, or all kinds of things in life. And even further, the worse it gets, then we start worrying in our minds from all the stuff that we've got held down inside. This creates neurosis, and eventually leads to being neurotic, and on and on. As the spiritual person does, what we learn to do is release all this energy over time. And as you do that, your Shakti flows more prominently. You might call it your spirit or your chi, or whatever you call it, but just a natural divine flow that runs through us anyway. But so let's say, for example, your husband, you think you know him, you've been married for 10 years, and you knew him for 5 years before that, and all this. So, well, what happens is, when he goes to work, or wherever for the day, he's going to come back with different experiences that happened to him at work. While you were home or wherever you were, you had experiences throughout your day. And so basically what I'm saying is, all this suppressed energy and circumstances that come in our lives that we may hold on to, which is, a lot of them, basically continues to make us a different person. So in other words, the person, your husband, that comes home from work is not the same person that left, because of the experiences he had at work, and you're not the same because of your experiences through your day. So the real answer is, we truly never really know anybody, completely. It kind of goes back to what I was saying before, learning to observe life, let the experiences come through, and just continue to be on. But, that's not to say these aren't good people, or we can't, but anyway, but I love y'all. See y'all in the next one.